Hello to all of our IPR students. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know that things are kind of difficult transitioning into full remote, so I thank you guys for all of the hard work that you've put forth and the continued hard work that you will do this week. If you have been participating in our remote learning, I know that our IPR teachers, a lot of them have been hosting Zooms this week and doing the IPR activities with you. I just wanted to make a quick video and run through what's been expected of you and what's to come for the week. Um, and then as well, I know I saw Mr. Fields today opened up a Zoom in case you guys had questions or wanted to work on anything in particular. I will do the same thing on Friday. Every Friday between 10 a.m. to noon, I open the open tutor session hours. So I will do that for you this week on Friday, and I'll also do it on Tuesday in case you want to drop in, say hi, ask any questions, work on any assignments together. I'm here to support you. As you can see, I am in my nephew's Avengers bedroom. So I'm still in Ohio for the week. We just had the funeral for my husband's grandfather yesterday. So I will be continuing working from Ohio until we return. So if you guys need anything at all, I do have the Schoology messenger on my phone, so I will try and answer you as quickly as possible if you're unsure on what you need to do or how to do an assignment or whatever that may be. I'm available to you. Okay, so let's run through really quickly what you guys have been working on this week. We'll go into Schoology. Okay, we've been talking about willingness, what willingness looks like. We've had a good handful of students working on a discussion board, and this was our Monday's work. So if you look, there are two questions, and you guys are more than welcome to, not only just answer the two questions, but you can respond to either my post or another student's post. Just make sure that you are using school appropriate language and you're being respectful of one another. That's really just common courtesy and common expectations for online learning and the use of the internet. So please just know that we will be monitoring those comments. So your two questions, some of you only answered one. Make sure you answer both. Okay, we're going to give you an opportunity to answer both. The first question is running through acceptance versus giving up. Okay, we've been working on that for over a week now. Make sure that you are able to identify both. So, what does it mean to accept a certain situation, accept something that has happened to you? What does that look like? The way that you might accept something in your life may be totally different than how somebody else accepts that same situation or a different situation. And what does it mean to give up, right? And the way that you give up on a situation might be different too. I know for myself, if I am feeling defeated or tired or drained, I will kind of neglect some of the things that I need to do in my everyday life. So, what does giving up look like to you? And then I know that this week, like I mentioned, is a little bit more difficult trying to transition into remote learning. Um, what does acceptance versus giving up look like during our remote learning days? How do we practice acceptance, right? There are things that we can and cannot change, there are things that are out of our control. So, what is a goal, or how are you going to practice that acceptance this week? So, I'll just give you my example again really quickly. I had posted, I plan on practicing acceptance this week by reminding myself that, remote learning can be very stressful, not only for me as a teacher, but for you as a student. But I'm going to remind myself that everybody is trying to do their very best. We're all trying to navigate through some uncharted waters. So that's the way that I feel about planning on accepting our situation. So just make sure that you answered that. Pretty easy, 10 points. And then we've also been working, hopefully you guys can still see my screen. We've been working on, if we go to modules, I believe you guys did an activity yesterday. I'm trying to see. That was Monday. It's Thursday. Hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry. Yesterday was the funeral, so I'm trying to catch up. Is this? I think you guys did sink or swim. I apologize if I'm misquoting. Hold on. I'm going to stop share real quick. I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right information on what you should be working on. Okay. Oh, here we go. Sorry. We skipped that one and we moved on to 8.38, playing the odds activity in a mind map. Okay, so if you go to, that's tomorrow. Okay, woo! Sorry, I'm confusing all of us. Okay, let me screen share real quick. And again, all of these plans were made without me, so I apologize. I'm trying to catch up too. So there's an acceptance activity. It looks like you guys worked on today. So let's do, here we go. So this is today's work. Begin watching the video on radical acceptance and letting it be. You'll download a worksheet following the instructions. You'll list 3 guest emotions in the doorway, which you do not necessarily want entering your home. List 5 of the tools to accept that guest of emotion that you don't want. And then you'll save and submit. So it looks like we already have 2 submissions. But if you open up, I'm going to show you the example really quickly. Okay, I know I have to stop screen share to do that. Hold on. Thank you for your patience. Okay, we're going to open Zoom up, screen share. Let's look at our example together really quickly. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so 3 emotions. Let's say our emotions include loneliness, annoyance, or sadness. What are some coping mechanisms or ways that we can accept these emotions, right? And honestly, I'll just argue, a lot of times we have a negative connotation on our emotions. We're not supposed to feel angry. We're not supposed to feel sad. We're not supposed to feel, depressed. But those emotions are equally as valuable as the emotions of, happiness and positivity. So instead of, kind of neglecting those feelings, even though they may come, remember that they'll always go. They're just like seasons. Let's learn how to accept these emotions and kind of, manage these emotions. So some of the examples of tools of acceptance is committed action. So what can you do? What can you control about these emotions? And give yourself some patience, give yourself some grace about these emotions. Maybe you stop and take a moment to meditate, whether that's just practicing some breathing exercises. Maybe you download an app to meditate. Maybe you just unplug from the world around you to be in that mindfulness or present moment. Maybe there's some more deep breathing techniques that you practice, or maybe you just use the idea of willingness. I'm going to accept what I can't control, or I'm going to accept these emotions, but I'm not going to let them dwell, right? I'm not going to let these emotions dictate my entire day. Okay. So you'll do that and then you'll submit. If you need help submitting, please just let me know. And then it does, sorry, I know there was some confusion. There is a activity for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and look at that as well. Thank you for your patience. So tomorrow you guys are working on a mind map. It says choose a word that you usually associate with a negative thought and type it in the center. In the boxes around that, type 8 different words that you associate with our centered word. This could be nouns, verbs, adjectives, or other emotions. They can either be positive or negative. And then in the boxes around the second group of words, type 3 words that you associate with each of them. So let's look at our puzzle piece. Again, I have to stop share so I can open this. We're going to look at our mind map together. This one seems really interesting. I might participate in this one as well. So I'm going to just open it up. Give me a second. My suggestion for this one would be, if you're going to do it on Word, you can add text boxes to all of them, or you can print it out. You can print it out and write in it, and then you can, take a picture of it. But let's go ahead and look at our mind map. It looks crazy at first, but once you get started, it should make some sense. So let's look at the instructions again. Oops. I just want to move our box so we can look at our instructions. Choose a word that you associate as a negative thought and type it in the middle. Okay, so your middle box is here. And then in the boxes around that, type 8 words that you associate with that centered word. Maybe they're emotions, maybe they're people. And then in the second, type 3 words that you associate with each of those words. So heck, I mean, I can start mine just to kind of show you. And again, you guys can kind of choose how much you want to share. We're not going to ask you to share anything too personal. Let me just, I'm comfortable. I'm an open book. So I am comfortable enough to kind of share some of my experiences. So it says a negative thought. Oh, a word with a negative thought. Okay. So one word that I usually think of negatively is my parents' divorce, right? Not fun. I was 10 years old when it happened. Okay. And these could be people, words, emotions that go around. Why is it doing that? Hold on. That go around that. So maybe I feel in the past about it frustrated. Maybe I have felt stressed. My dad moved, right? So maybe I put in the word dad. Oops. Come on, box. Ooh, what's it doing? Sometimes you got to play around with it. There, I'll put dad there. Okay. And then you associate words within that. So not every emotion or person or adjective has to be a negative. So even though my dad is the one that moved after the divorce, like my dad is a brave person. My dad is a hardworking person, right? And so we can change these to be positive or negative. Just based on our words. So we're going to fill all the boxes based on different emotions that we feel from that one particular thought or event. Okay. So I'm just doing this for the first time. Who would have thought that I would find some positives that came from such a traumatic event, right? And it doesn't need to be a traumatic event. It doesn't need to be something, super crazy. I'm just thinking of a thought or a personal experience that I've had that I typically think of as negative. It can be maybe you failed a quiz. It could be that, maybe COVID kind of got in the way of your sports in some way, or, something that you typically think of as a negative. And that's something that we've been working on and have been working towards this entire course, right? We've made ugly words into pretty words. We've changed the shape and color of words like stupid. So we are trying to almost rewire our brain to look at some of the more negative emotions or aspects and try and find some positives, right? And remember that this whole class is not about rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, right? So, we're just trying to identify, some emotions and experiences that we've had and kind of reevaluate those different experiences. So that is an example of me doing it. We're going to ask you guys to do the same thing. And again, if you need help with submitting that, just let me know. I feel like I've been talking for a really long time. So those are 3 assignments that we've been working on for the week. Again, I'll make another video as we continue. I hope you guys are having a great week, and thank you so much for watching.